Hello guys, today we're going to start our review of Algebra 1. You should have been given a handout. It's the first page of our review. Why don't you pause this video and go ahead and trim that down and get that taped right into your spiral binder, and then when you've got that done you can unpause the video and we will begin. So get that taped down right now. Alright, so we're going to go through, I'm going to do a few of these for you as an example just to kind of review, and then after that we'll give you the rest of the time to finish the worksheet on your own. If you can, please get your, get your worksheet and just kind of follow along. The first one, of course, is pretty easy. It's just reviewing order of operations. I think we did a little bit of that with our pre-algebra review. We'll go ahead and try to do that again right now. The first one is 2 minus 6. Keep in mind that what we're trying to do is parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So we'll say PEMDAS right here. Alright, so let's put PEMDAS just to kind of remind ourselves of how this works. Remember, the P stands for parentheses, the E exponents, multiply, divide, that's left to right. Whoops, let me get that. We're going left to right here, and then adding and subtracting, we're going left to right also. So multiply and divide, looks like I got a little carried away there. Let me erase this. Multiply and divide is left to right, and adding and subtracting is left to right. So we would want to wait on this subtraction here and do the division first. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. So this problem is really 2 minus 1, or 2. That gets a little tricky for some people because they want to subtract first. So be careful with that. Alright, let's try number 3. Again, you want to, of course, we could go ahead and do this addition here. So it's going to be 1 plus, and then we'll do this division. 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. We don't want to lose that extra minus sign in there. Of course, that's going to make a positive. So 1 plus 4 is how we're going to end up with that, which is 5. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and go ahead and work number 2 and number 4. Alright, now we're going to try to do evaluate each using the values given. So we basically, all this is just a plug in the values kind of problem. So if x equals negative 2 and y equals 5, you have to be super careful when you plug these numbers in, because when you plug them in, you've got to put parentheses around them. Otherwise, negatives seem to get lost. So we want to subtract. X is negative 2, y is 5. So we are going to add these all together, doing our exponents first. So this negative 5 is just going to have to be patient. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. And then we want to subtract. Negative 2 plus 5 is 3. So negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. Take away 3, and if you're one of those people that likes to keep, flip, change, then you're going to keep the negative 20, flip this to a positive, and change 3 to a negative 3, and you get negative 23. Alright, I want you to go ahead and pause the video and try number 6 now. Alright, here we are back again. We have a proportion now that we need to solve. If you remember right, proportions are solved by cross multiplying. So when we cross multiply this, we're going to get 7. Now we do probably need to decide where we want to put this negative sign. So if it were me, I would go ahead and just stick the negative sign up at the top so I don't have to mess with it. So 7 times v minus 3, it's going to look like this. And then of course we want to put parentheses around that because it's 7 times the entire numerator, not just part of it. Same in this direction. We're going to have negative 12 times v plus 5. All proportions can be cross multiplied. This is actually equal to this. If you remember right, if you have two fractions that are clearly equal, so like let's say 5/8 and 10/16. 5/8 is definitely equal to 10/16. When we multiply this, 10 times 8, when we cross multiply, we get 80. When we cross multiply here, we also get 80. And that's why this is okay. Cross products are equal if the proportions are really equal fractions to begin with. All right, so I'm going to use my distributive property here and multiply that out. I'm going to multiply this. Negative 12 times 5 is negative 60. Maybe add 12v to both sides and get 19v. Add 21 to both sides and get negative, that's not right, negative 40. So we want to change that. Fix my math here. We want to change that to negative 39. So we'll put that here, and we divide both sides by 19, and we get 39 divided, we might get a decimal out of this. Yeah, so maybe we'll just make it negative 39 over 19 and be done with it. All right, what I want you to do is pause the video and work number 8 now. All right, let's work on a percent change problem. This problem says state if it's an increase or a decrease. We talked about this a little bit the other day, but this is probably a good idea to get a few more examples under our belt before ACT time. Percent change is percent increase or a percent decrease. If we're going from 12 to 15, this is definitely an increase. If you remember from your notes, you're going to take the difference of the numbers over the original number and set that equal to the percent over 100. So the difference between the numbers is 3. The original number is 12, and we are trying to figure out the percent, so we'll let that be x and put that over 100. When we cross multiply here, we get 300 equals 12 times x, and we're going to take 300 and divide by 12, and that looks like a 25%, and that would be increase, percent increase, because it went from 12 to 15. All right, I'm going to try one more of those with you. This is going from 99 to 35. So if that was like a discount on a shirt or something, that would be a bargain. So we subtract those numbers and we get 64. The difference between the numbers is 64. Put it over the original number, 99. That's going to equal the percent over 100. So when we multiply this out, 64 times 100 is 6,400. I'm going to set that equal to 99x, 99 times x. Divide both sides by 99. Looks like x is going to be about 64.6 approximately percent. About a 64% decrease. And you can see here that that's a huge decrease. So it goes from 99 to 35, which is almost a third of what, I mean, that alone right there is about 30-40% decrease. So it's actually, I'm sorry, it's actually a 64% decrease. I'm just thinking that this is about a third of that number. All right, there is number 10, 12, 14, and 13 left for you to try. Do it now. All right, now we're going to work a few percent problems. 42% of 66. Probably the easiest way to do these is just change the percents to a decimal. Of means times. 66 equals X. Okay, if you want, you can do part over whole equals percent over 100. And you can solve them all that way. So if you want to do a part over whole equals percent over 100, then you can do it that way. If you like percent equations, we can do it that way. Looks like our answer is 2.52, 42% of 66. Oh, I don't think that sounds right. Let me try that again. 0.42 times 66. 27. Scratch that. 27.72 equals X. I knew that didn't look like about half of 66. 50% would have been 33. So that didn't, I knew that didn't sound right. Okay, we can try this one. If we write an equation, we would do the decimal. Moving the decimal over 2 places. Of means times. We're going to multiply that out. So 0.98 times 74 means equals. What number is X? So I do 0.98 times 74. Looks like I'm getting 72.52. 52, and that gives me my X. If you would do part over whole, let's get that kind of set up. You have to look for the word of, and that's where the number that follows it is where the whole goes. So up here the of was 66, so it would have gone down here in the bottom. So then we're trying to figure out what the part is. We know it's 98%, so we'll just put 98 over 100, and then you'd cross multiply and get this answer. All right. So I want you to pause the video and try 16, 18, 20, yes, and 19. All right, now we're going to go through a few equation solving just to practice solving equations. I feel like this is probably, you should be pretty good at this. 6x minus 5x, of course, is x. So that one was easy. You're going to distributed property here. I'm going to let you just work on these. I don't feel like they need a whole lot of explanation. So you will be done if you get from 21 through 26. Go ahead and finish those now, and then put this paper, just leave it taped down into your spiral binder, and we will finish it up next class.